Hi everyone, and welcome to another lecture in the Tools of the Trade course. My name is Andrew, I'm a TA of the course, and I'm going to be going over GitHub Part 2. Today we'll be going over good practices, merge conflicts, branches, and GitHub Pages. And this is Unit 1.4. Let's get started. So now we're going to be going over Git Branching. And a branch represents an independent line of development that's used to generate a new working directory, staging area, and project history. It allows for separate development to be done in a new direction of the project's files. And so basically, when you branch off from the main line of development, you get your own code base that is duplicated from the main project's files. And you can work on the code without interrupting the work of other developers. And so once you've kind of worked through your code and are ready to combine it with the main line of development, that's what is known as merging. And so with merging, it's basically the process of combining the changes you made on your own branch to another branch, which is usually, like I said before, the main line of development, the master branch. You want to make sure that when you're combining the code, that you're being aware of the differences in code between the two commits. You're not overwriting lines that other developers have been working on. And that just kind of requires communication between the developers as you're working through the same repository. And so putting it all together, what you're going to want to start off with is cloning the master repository onto your local machine, creating a branch for your new feature. You want to do work on that branch. And once you've come to a good place to combine it with the main line of development, you want to git add, git commit with a message. And then you want to push that change directly to your own branch. And then you want to switch to the master branch and then merge the work that you've done on your feature branch onto that master branch. So here's some good practices of GitHub. Going down the do's list, you're going to want to push to the master branch through your own branch using pull requests. You want to create a meaningful git ignore file so that you're not pushing files that you don't want into the master branch or your remote repository that contain more sensitive information. You want to use proper branch naming conventions like feature branch, release branch, etc., just to provide a brief explanation of what each branch is made for. You want to keep your own branches up to date, especially locally, so that you're working on files that other developers have contributed to, just kind of keeping it up to date. Last but not least, you're going to want to define code owners for each repository. And then what the code owner can do is approve or deny pull requests from the developers. And going down the don'ts list, what you don't want to do is push straight to the master branch. This can cause loss of code, loss of work. Another thing you don't want to do is leak secret keys, credentials into your source code. And this can be like an API key, private token, SSH keys, anything that you don't want anyone else to see. You're also not going to want to commit code as an unrecognized author. And this is because you're going to want to keep track of who's been working on what and make sure that you have a good record of what each developer has been working on. And the goals of these good practices are that it can improve developer workflow, productivity, code quality, and security. Now I'm going to be going over merge conflicts. And this is when you merge two branches that have competing commits and Git needs your help to decide which changes to incorporate into the final merge. And this can be caused by making two different changes to the same line of the same file, or when one person edits a file and another person deleted. And so in these cases, Git cannot resolve these conflicts themselves, and they require developers' help in resolving these conflicts. And that's what we're going to be talking about next. So to resolve these merge conflicts, you're going to have to manually edit the conflicted file to select the changes that you want to keep for the final merge. And there's two strategies for this. For competing line changes, you can use the conflict editor on GitHub or on the GitHub desktop app. You can also resolve the merge conflict in a local clone of your repository that you can use to push changes to your branch. And I'll start off by showing you guys how to resolve a merge conflict on GitHub, the website. So first of all, you're going to want to find the pull request icon under your repository name. Then you're going to locate the pull request with a merge conflict that you'd want to resolve, and then click Resolve Conflicts. This will take you to the text editor, where you can decide if you want to keep only your branches changes, keep the other branches changes, or make an entirely new change that incorporates both edits. And so where you can find these conflicting edits are with the markers that GitHub has placed for you. The beginning of the conflict starts off with a few open angle brackets, followed by the code that you wrote. And then there are going to be a couple equal signs, followed by the edits that the conflicting branch edits are. And then after that, it'll close off with the close-ended brackets, or close-angle brackets. So to resolve this conflict, you want to first delete the open and close angle brackets as well as the equal sign, and make the change that you want to keep for the final merge. Then what you're going to do is, once you're done with editing the file, click Mark as Resolved. And then you can, once you have resolved all of your merges or your merge conflicts, you want to click Commit Merge up at the top right-hand corner. And then if it's prompted, you want to review the branch that you're committing to. After that, you can finalize your merge by clicking Create Branch and Update My Pull Request, and then click Merge Pull Request. Now I'm going to go over resolving a merge conflict on the GitHub desktop app. So when you're merging and a conflict arises, you're going to be prompted with the following message. So to fix this conflict, you're going to want to examine the conflicting files in your editor and correct the discrepancies. As I said earlier, for the GitHub merge conflict resolution, it's going to start off with open angle brackets, followed by the code that you wrote, followed by the equal sign, and then the edits that the conflicting branch has made, and then it's going to end with close angle brackets. You're going to want to edit that file to incorporate either your edits, the conflicting branches edits, or create an entirely new line or lines that can help fix the change or fix the conflict. Then GitHub Desktop should populate this pop-up with a commit message. After that, you're going to want to commit the changes and then click Sync, which will resolve the merge conflicts. And I just want to make a note here in the bottom left-hand corner that you want to delete those open angle brackets, close angle brackets, as well as the equal signs. And now I'm going to go over how to resolve a merge conflict on the command line. So first thing you want to do is open up your command line interface. For Mac, it's going to be called Terminal. For Windows, it's going to be called Command Prompt. And then you want to navigate to your Git repository. Second of all, you want to use the command git status to generate a list of all the files affected by the merge conflict. You want to open your text editor and locate those files. Again, you'll find the conflict markers that I talked about before. Make those edits. And after you've done that, you want to, again, delete the conflict markers, save your file. And then step 5 is when you want to add or stage your changes, use the command git add. After that, you can commit your changes with a comment. An example would be like resolving a merge conflict on these files or something along those lines. And to resolve the conflict, all you have to do is merge your changes into a pull request. And so the best way to kind of get the hang of Git in GitHub is to basically implement it yourself. And a good way to do that is to use these useful tutorials to practice. I listed out 5, but a quick Google search will give you plenty of different tutorials to learn through the workflow and very common practices of GitHub before you utilize it in the field or for a class assignment, project, etc. And GitHub Pages is a feature of GitHub that allows you to host a website about yourself, your organization, or a project directly from a GitHub repository. You can use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files directly from a repository on GitHub, and then run the files through a build process if you want, and then publish, and then that publishes a website. As you can see on the right, we actually used GitHub Pages to host the website for our Tools of the Trade course in the fall. And yeah, that is basically kind of the gist of GitHub Pages. If you kind of need help understanding or want to implement your own GitHub Pages, feel free to come by our office hours. I also linked a few document and tutorials below. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Have a great day.